Buried in the ruins of Siberia, a bracelet emerges crafted from solid stone nearly 40,000 years ago, with drilling so precise it rivals modern techniques. Its authenticity is undisputed, its age is proven by scientific analysis, yet the technology behind it remains unexplained. Experts agree it should not exist in its time, but the Denisovan bracelet is only the beginning. Across the ancient world, 5 genuine discoveries challenge what we thought possible. The first clue is found not in a treasure hoard, but in the iron nail from a soldier's worn-out Roman sandal. At the edge of the Roman Empire, buried in the mud of Vindolanda, archaeologists uncovered a single iron nail from a soldier's sandal. On the surface, it seems unremarkable, just a short, sturdy tack, about 3 centimeters long with a broad head and a shaft bent over to clinch it tight against thick leather. But under the microscope, this nail tells a different story. Metallurgical analysis reveals a carefully controlled carbon content, close to 1%, and a grain structure suggesting the nail was hardened by quenching. These features are not accidental. They point to a deliberate process, repeated thousands of times across the empire. The purpose was practical, traction, and durability. When researchers recreated Roman boots with these nails and tested them on stone roads, they found a marked improvement in grip, up to 30% better than plain leather. The design even distributed weight to reduce fatigue on long marches. At Vindolanda alone, more than 10,000 of these nails have been cataloged, each nearly identical in size and hardness. What makes this discovery so striking is the scale. Administrative tablets from the site record bulk orders for clavi caligares, hinting at an organized supply system able to deliver standardized equipment to distant outposts. Some experts, including Professor Martin Millett, see these nails as evidence of a vast logistical network and of mass production. From a single worn-down nail, the reach and precision of Roman engineering become visible, raising new questions about the true complexity of imperial supply chains. Across the Pacific, the ruins of Madol rise from the tidal flats of Pohnpei, a city built on more than 100 artificial islets. These islets are edged by walls of basalt prisms, some weighing several tons each, stacked in crisscross patterns that stretch for hundreds of meters. Archaeologists have mapped 1.5 million cubic meters of basalt, shaped and set without the use of mortar. Radiocarbon dates from coral and wood embedded in the foundations place the main construction between 1200 AD and 1400. The techniques behind this achievement remain unanswered. The basalt columns were quarried from distant outcrops on Pohnpei's main island, then somehow moved across open water to the lagoon. Experimental attempts to replicate the transport using rafts, canoes, and rollers have managed to shift smaller stones, but the largest blocks, some weighing more than 5 tons, resist every modern effort. The canal network that threads through Madol, stretching over 10 kilometers, hints at a city designed as much for movement as for defense, yet no evidence of wheeled vehicles or draft animals has been found. The question of logistics remains central. Pohnpeian elders recall stories of sacred builders who commanded the stones, blending ritual with practical knowledge now lost. Oral histories speak of tides, moon phases, and communal labor, but the logistics behind the construction remain elusive. As the walls endure typhoons and centuries of abandonment, the question persists. How did a pre-industrial society marshal the resources and engineering skill to build a stone city on the sea? Petrographic thin sections from the vitrified forts reveal a complex network of glass phases, with minerals fused together at temperatures above 1,100 degrees Celsius. Laboratory teams from Historic Environment Scotland and the University of Aberdeen have spent years replicating these conditions. In controlled rampart trials, they stacked granite and timber to mimic ancient wall construction, then ignited massive bonfires fueled by hardwood and peat. The resulting heat, measured by thermocouples embedded in the stone, peaked at levels sufficient to melt rock surfaces into a glassy matrix. Yet even with modern planning and virtually unlimited fuel, full vitrification proved inconsistent and required enormous quantities of wood, far beyond what a single defensive fire would provide. Experimental teams varied wind, timber placement, and fuel type. Some trials produced localized vitrification where stone surfaces glassed over, but other sections remained unaltered. No single experiment has replicated the scale or consistency of vitrification found at sites like Dunderdale and Craig Fadraig. Competing hypotheses divide the research community. Some petrologists argue for deliberate engineering, pointing to uniform glass layers and the presence of rare minerals that form only at sustained high temperatures. Others say the patchy, uneven fusion fits accidental burning during attacks, when collapsing timber and wind-driven fires might have generated short-lived heat spikes. Decades of experimental archaeology leave the question unresolved. The thin section evidence and field trials show a process that is technically possible, but logistically daunting. As scientific teams debate intentionality versus accident, the vitrified stones offer no clear answer, only a silent record of heat and stone fused together by forces still not fully understood. Archaeology at its core is a discipline shaped by patience and persistence. Each artifact unearthed, each inscription deciphered, adds a small but vital piece to the puzzle of human history. The field demands careful scrutiny, not only of the objects themselves, but of the stories they might tell. There is no room for speculation untethered from evidence, and no place for sensationalism. Instead, the work is grounded in the slow accumulation of data, the weighing of competing theories, and the willingness to revise assumptions as new discoveries come to light. Across continents and centuries, teams of researchers sift through layers of soil, stone, and time, guided by questions that have no easy answers. What did these people believe? How did they live? What forces shaped their world? The answers are rarely straightforward. Sometimes a single pottery shard can upend decades of accepted wisdom. Other times, the absence of evidence is itself a clue, pointing to gaps in the record or to stories lost to erosion, fire, or conquest. The pursuit of ancient history is not a quest for certainty, but for understanding. It is a process shaped by debate, disagreement, and the careful weighing of facts. In this spirit, the most meaningful discoveries are those that withstand scrutiny, that invite further questions, and that remind us how much remains unknown. The journey through the world's archaeological mysteries is ongoing, shaped by curiosity and the relentless search for truth. Excavators in the Altai Mountains worked through dense cave layers, tracing each artifact to its exact depth. In Layer 11, a greenish stone bracelet surfaced, a find that drew the attention of the Novosibirsk archaeological team and technical specialists from the Max Planck Institute. Micro-computed tomography imaging revealed a single drilled hole, less than a millimeter wide, with spiral striations circling its interior, evidence of steady controlled rotation at about 150 revolutions per minute, a remarkable level of precision for the late Pleistocene. The bracelet's surface, polished to a near-glass sheen, carries microscopic scratches from fine quartz abrasives, suggesting a multi-stage finishing process. Stratigraphic analysis leaves little doubt about its age, between 40,000 and 50,000 years old, securely bracketed by radiocarbon and luminescence, dates from the same sediment. Specialists note the sub-millimeter precision of the perforation, a technical feat not matched in later Paleolithic finds. The evidence points to a level of craft and planning that challenges assumptions about the capacities of ancient toolmakers, and it raises questions about how such skill developed so early in human history. Plimpton 322 is a clay tablet from Babylon dated to around 1800 BCE. It contains 15 rows of cuneiform numbers written in base 60, a sexagesimal system. These numbers form ratios that match the sides of right triangles, what we now call Pythagorean triples. The arrangement is remarkably precise, and some scholars suggest the Babylonians had a form of trigonometry long before the Greeks. Yet the tablet's real purpose remains debated. Eleanor Robson, an Assyriologist, reads it as a scribal exercise meant to teach students how to generate and manipulate numbers. She points to its 15 rows and 4 columns as evidence of a classroom tool. Daniel Mansfield argues it is an early trigonometric table possibly used for surveying or construction, noting that the ratios align with angles between 30 and 60 degrees. No other artifact from this era matches its mathematical detail or mystery. Plimpton 322's sexagesimal triples remain unresolved. Today, each unanswered artifact stands as a reminder our understanding of the past is far from complete. As new technologies reveal more, familiar timelines blur, and what we thought we knew grows less certain. The next breakthrough could rewrite the story again. What questions would you ask next?